My name is Ian Utile, and I am here at the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center in San Francisco, California. I'm going to skip the long intro and get right to it with John because we had a chance to meet at CES.
Right.
We had a very encouraging conversation for me. There's time to time in my 21, 22 years I've been doing, biz dev and strategy and innovation stuff here in the Silicon Valley where somebody will show me a product. And I'm like, can you show me that about 45 more times? And that was my experience with you that night when we were sitting down having drinks and dinner together.
That's great, yeah.
So can you just start, I know a bit about you, and we're just having a conversation, but
Sure.
They may not know about you and what your company does. Can you just tell them who you are and what your company does?
Sure, so my name's John Foster, and I'm a co-founder of Aiqudo. My co-founder and I started Aiqudo a couple years ago. We were looking at the voice space, and we thought, voice just doesn't do enough that's useful. It doesn't do much that's good. And the other thing we thought was, everybody's got a phone, and your phone is always with you. And rather than having to solve a device problem so that now voice is close to people all the time, and a kind of an AI problem of what do people want to do with their voice, and how do we define exactly what it is that the user means, all that stuff already exists on your phone, right? You've decided which apps you want. You've decided what you do on your apps. You've made choices about where do I message Ian? Do I message him on WhatsApp? Do I message him on WeChat? All those choices are already reflected in my apps. And so if we could make apps faster and easier to use with voice, that was the right way to start with voice, right? Just make it simple. And the other key thing was voice had to be intuitive, right? Voice is, it should be just the most natural thing that you can do. Be able to say what you want, focus on the action you want, not even focus on the app that you want, but just say what it is you want to do and get it done.
Right.
So that's how we started, and that's where our goal is.
It was funny. I've had guys tell me about what their products do, and then your product actually did what people said theirs could do.
That's good, I'm glad.
I'm serious, I've sat down with big heavy hitters and they're like, well, my voice app, we basically hit the moment of singularity, man. It's there. And I'm like, okay, can you show me? Well, it's,
a couple of years.
It's really quiet. We don't only sign NDAs. I'm like, no, I'm an innovator. I don't sign NDAs. Sorry. No. You just brought it right out. You started showing me how truly natural your app works. So I really encourage folks to look into what you're doing and what type of people that might be watching Voice First TV would your company be interested in talking to? Formal partners, informal partners, biz dev opportunities, who should reach out to you and what for?
Sure, so we've got a bunch of different implementations that we've done. So the basic one is just a voice assistant on the phone. And so we've talked with a number of phone OEMs, big guys all, interesting guys to work with. They want to develop their own voice experience and kind of have their own way to break away from Google and the lock that they've got on the software part of their phones. We also are focused on automotive with auto manufacturers. They want to have, again, their own branded experience. This is what we bring to them. And with the personalization that comes with your apps, now your curated experience in your car is truly, it's that brand's experience, right? And it's everything that the user wants, and it's also not, leading with somebody else's brand. So that's important. And then the last piece, and where we think this really gets interesting, is mobile apps themselves. If you're a big mobile app, you're at risk of being what we used to call disintermediated in the search space. Voice is going to disintermediate a bunch of people, right? If you start your voice search request on Alexa and say, Alexa, I need a ride to the airport, that's big trouble for everybody in the ride-sharing business, right? Because you're not now the lead brand, you're also at the buying end of a lead gen opportunity for those guys.
That's right.
So we think there's broad opportunities for lots of people here, and app developers in particular, we think need to start thinking about what's their brand mean in voice and how do they develop that voice experience.
Tell me a bit about your talk, that you're getting ready to do.
We just did. We just did.
It's 20, I saw 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I saw my mind. This is why I need the computer to talk to me. I have to wear glasses to see. So you just did your talk about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did that go? How was the audience? What's your experience here at the Voice of the Car Summit? Are you glad you're here?
Oh, definitely,
expectations? Yeah. Tell me a bit about it.
Yeah, this is great. We're down there working away in Campbell, and
right.
Sometimes we're kind of in our own little bubble down there, just working away. So it's great to be out here and with people who are in the space and really engaged in the space and talking the same language that we're talking. So demo went great. We just demoed our auto mode implementation and went really well. A couple of hiccups, but everything kind of ended up working. So like you said, the platform does actually work. work, which helps when you're trying to do a demo. So, so that went well, and it's just great to be here and be around people that are really focused on where do we move from, a car that we drive and that experience to, what's this digital platform that we're going to either drive in or ride in, or as cars evolve over time, this is going to become a different experience. And so how does that experience really evolve, and what's it going to look like?
Yeah. So about the future of voice, so 5 years, 55 years, what are you most excited about that voice technology is going to bring into the lives of you, myself, and the other 7+ billion people?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to start with, even my kids are a little bit older, it's going to start with maybe kids even younger than that, and they're just going to have this kind of natural interface with their technology. And I think that's what's really going to be interesting and different, right? For all of our lives, technology is something you had to learn how to use. Now it's going to be much more intuitive, and it's going to be just sort of a fabric that surrounds you. And I think that's how we think about voice, is it's going to be that fabric that enables you to just get things. We're not going to think about it, are there apps, are they system actions? They're just going to be actions that exist all around us, and that's what I think is going to be really interesting.
That's great. How do people get a hold of you and your company, and what would be the purpose for them to do so? It's like Twitter, LinkedIn, and what type of inquiries are you looking for?
Yeah, so any kind of inbound business opportunities, people, app developers in particular, who are thinking about voice and want to, if you're just learning about it, we're finding a full range of people who are either just starting to think about voice, or people who are starting to build out voice teams. We're happy to see you. You can locate us on LinkedIn. You can locate us through the web, Aiqudo.com.
Great.
Good.
Thank you for joining me, John.
Thanks, Ian. Great to see you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And thank you for your attention. Here comes the Google Pocket Disc. I'll be right back with another interview.